Chuan is working on the hottest new VR game, an experience where the user will walk through the house and investigate the brutal murder of a pregnant artist who creates clay sculptures made from the dirt of graveyards. He takes home one of her creations and his pregnant wife, who works to restore statues, takes an interest in it. But the statue contains a collection of evil spirits which are awakened when it makes contact with human blood. His wife gets possessed, and he engages the assistance of a Taoist priest investigating ancient talismans to help him contain and defeat the evil spirits. Hello everyone, I am the Artie Dans. Welcome to SHOCKMANIA. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, horror movie review channel, yada yada yada. Let's get kicked into the review. Taiwan makes some of the most interesting and exciting horror movies, at least I think so. So from stuff like Incantation, the found footage movie, to Detention, which was turned into a game, well actually is adapted from a game. Awesome film, by the way. You got Dead Talent Society, a very good comedy horror, and then the recently released Haunted Mountain Yellow Taboo, which is kind of like a time loop movie. Recent Taiwanese horror films have been a treasure trove of hot hits, and I am now adding this movie, Mudborn, to that list of hot hits. Taiwanese horror cinema loves to explore the Taoist side of its culture. Prevalent in most Taiwanese movies are Taoist priests and the use of these talismans. Now you think that by now this theme would be well worn out, but filmmakers always seem to find this really interesting way to use it that gets my interest back and keeps me on the edge of my seat. What I love about Taiwanese horror is that it blends the current and the past together. Now in this movie, which I think is partially reminiscent of the 2023 Takashi Shimizu J-horror film Immersion, which was about a VR game, it's the concept of virtual reality that it uses as its hook. In this movie's case, not only is it used to set the scene, but also as a way for the characters to help and connect with each other. Make sure you stick around and watch the second to last scene of the film to get a sense of what I truly mean about that. Now, Taiwan has never shied away from blood and gore either. And if you're squeamish about eyeball action, then be forewarned, there are several characters' eyeballs that have some not so pleasant things happen to them. With this being a movie about a VR setting, you're going to be expecting a rather liberal use of CGI. And that is correct, but most of it seems to be relegated to the spirit entering and leaving possessed bodies. There's no digital blood effects, at least I didn't see any digital blood effects. This is one of those movies where everything fits together quite perfectly, but it is very by the numbers. It's a template of how to make a movie without thinking too hard. I mean, the pregnant wife character comparisons and the ham-fisted introduction of the Taoist priest towards the middle of the movie are prime examples of what I really mean by this. There's no real surprises for the audience, which means that this movie's aim was purely for entertainment and immersion, and in my humble opinion, I believe that this movie did that. Now, it's certainly not perfect though. Almost everything is foreshadowed, including the inevitable sequel that is hammered down your throat in a not so subtle way right at the end of the film. But there is one strange portion of the film that had me wondering if the editor or producer had made a mistake. So there's a scene towards the end where the Taoist priest is walking through the house, and you can tell that he is being guided by Chuan. It's obvious that he's using the VR headset to guide him, because then Chuan gets killed in the game as he's guiding him and he has to reset and start again. Now this bit alone is actually kind of funny when you think about it, and it's the added randomness that's included by using the VR element. It made the movie feel a little bit more, I don't know, realistic perhaps. However, the very next scene cut back to what I can only assume to be about 20-30 minutes in the past, where Chuan explains to the Taoist priest how he will use the VR helmet to assist him. This scene is totally out of place and probably more completely unneeded, because we, the audience, have already worked out what they're doing. It either should have been before the priest entered the house, or probably just cut out completely and save a bit of running time. Minor gripes aside, I've seen people online accuse the filmmakers of using AI in this film. Now, there's a scene in the film where the characters talk about using AI to remove some glitches from this scan that they've made. And I assume that people watching the film legitimately think the filmmaker did this. Now, this is ridiculous. I'm all for calling out filmmakers who use AI in their films, but this is a false, or I believe to be a false accusation. It's as if people are brain rotted and unintelligent enough to know the difference between AI, characters talking about AI, and traditional CGI that you're now confusing by thinking that it's AI. It's a little bit mind-blowing to me, to be honest. It's strange that we're at the point where people just think anything they don't understand is AI. It's going to get hard for filmmakers going forward in the future with that in mind. Now, with that out of the way, if you like video games, especially VR-themed video games, if you like the occasional jump scare, and it does happen in here, there are the occasional jump scares that kind of come out of nowhere, obviously, being a jump scare. If you like creepy makeup, and it's done really well here, bone crunching sound effects, you know the type I'm talking about, and easy to understand yet fully entertaining movies, then I think this one is right down your alley, because it was right down mine. Now, using my patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, 4 ghosts is what I am awarding this modern Taiwanese chiller. Yes, I think this is worthy of 4 ghosts, and I do legitimately think that this is a movie that you should watch. Now, keeping in mind that it is Taiwanese horror, it is a different kind of horror than what you're expecting from, say, American films, or even, well, no, more like American films, because it does follow a little bit more along the lines of, say, Indonesian cinema, or dare I say Japanese cinema, but I don't want to, even though the references to J-horror are clearly in this movie as well. They're very obvious, they stick out, you can see them. But anyway, have you seen Mudborn? Are you interested in watching Mudborn? Do you want to watch Mudborn? Leave a comment below to let me know exactly what you think of it. Don't tell me half of what you think of it. Tell me exactly what you think of it. I am the Artie Dent. You are watching Shockmania. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep an eye out for more horror movie reviews and retrospectives. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Catch you next time.